What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode on Proven Power Cycles. For those who don't know me, my name is Eric. So I got Lewis down in the pit working, and I'm taking a short little break here to kind of give you guys an update. We haven't really discussed this at all, but over the last few months since we moved into our new location, we have been getting a lot of complaints from our neighbors, and to the point where EPC and code enforcement showed up to basically see what was going on and to potentially shut us down. Long story short, I'm not going to get into extreme details, but we ended up going through and basically building out a whole nether dyno room with sound deadening material, as you guys can kind of see all around here. So we have been working diligently, and if you can see behind me here, beep, we actually built a wall off the wall to further increase the sound deadening material. So there's actually rock wall inside the insulation that's inside of this, which is built for home theater systems. So we're kind of going over and beyond at this point. We're putting up a big screen TV over here. We're gonna put an AC unit in here. We've got a lot of stuff going on in this room, and we don't have a lot of time to finish all this, but
basically we're moving in.
Yeah, we're basically re-moving in all over again, but it'll be really cool because now, honestly, you know, we don't want to be the bad guys. As much as we joke about pissing off our neighbors, that's not really the ultimate goal here. We're not trying to upset everybody. We're not trying to be, you know, the annoying ones in the neighborhood. So all in all, we're making this change, and we made this move. I made a post recently on Instagram and Facebook, but I haven't said anything on YouTube yet. I just mainly wanted to show you guys kind of what we're working with, the room as it sits, and I'll kind of show you guys a little bit more on the dyno and everything. Ultimately, here, I'll just kind of show you. This is where the dyno was this whole time. We had it in here. So we're gonna block all this off. We're gonna build up, fill the pit back in, block all this off, fill that, and this will become kind of like a dyno prep station, more or less. But here's the other parts of the dyno over here. We got to grab this stuff and move it all over here. But this is where the dyno is going to sit. This is the new location. So it's going to be pretty wicked. We got a few surprises in for you guys. We're going to clean this room up eventually. We also have flooring we're going to lay down, but we definitely have a few more things to do. But I just kind of wanted to show you guys where we're at. We got to assemble the dyno first, make sure everything is good on the dyno. We're going to test it out, kick the drum over, make sure everything works, everything's lined up. Once we're a go on that, then we'll go ahead and finish up the rest of the room around it. So we're kind of working back and forth with the room, upgrading the room as well as finishing the dyno. So, but getting the dyno up and running is kind of priority. Then like I said, then we're going to work on the rest of the room here. So. But all in all, just wanted to give you guys an update. It's gonna be pretty wicked, can't deny it. I'm very excited. We still got some cleaning to do on the ceiling tile. We got lights to put in still. All of that is on the way. All of that will be getting done this week. So I wanna show you the progress that we made on the room so far. It may not look much to you, but I'll go over a couple of little things too to show you guys kind of what goes on a bike dyno, kind of how you get your measurements and stuff. So I'll kind of briefly touch on those things. And I don't know, yeah, and just kind of go from there. Here we go. We're coming, the room is coming together slowly, okay? Obviously, this is kind of like, this will be like construction corner, if you will. So over here, we still have a bunch of insulation, sound deadening, acoustic paneling. We still have the plate for the eddy current brake here. Obviously, we still have some work to do in this general vicinity, but as you can tell, we've got the skin on right here. So we've got the outer skin on, we've got the plating here. Yeah, there you go, Lewis. There you go. You're like my showgirl. Like the Wheel of Fortune. So we've got the back plating on here. We've got this plating on here, this plating. We've got the air fuel module down there, the DynoWare RT. We've got the back plating there for the drum. We've got the top plate for the drum, got the side paneling for the drum, and we ran the wiring. A lot of the wiring is ran. I love how clean this is coming out. It looks so good. So I'll show you guys really quickly kind of a gist here. So we have the eddy current brake here, okay? This is a big electromagnet and that's basically how it operates. So when we hit the brake, it's sending the signal to activate, which is going to slow the drum down. It's connected by this U-joint here, which is a little bit of a pain because we have to get it all lined up and kind of perfectly straight, if you will. It's a little bit of a pain, but all in all, that's how the drum, whenever you're spinning the bike, is connected to the brake over here. Okay, and now this is the motorcycle dyno. Car dyno is a little bit different. They still have an eddy brake, electromagnetic brake, but they also have brake pads attached to them. But for ours, it's just the electromagnetic brake. So once you get up to, once it brings it down to a certain mile an hour, it literally kicks back off. So the drum will literally turn back off. Okay. Here we have an infrared sensor. This is quite literally if this thing catches on fire, I'll get the warning up at the dyno module that'll tell me that it's on fire. But it's pretty obvious once it catches on fire that we're in trouble. It's pretty blatantly obvious. So we have our air fuel module here. I'm gonna wipe that down still, but here's our air fuel module. So this is just a power wire that is run to it, and if you look on the side here, you can barely see it, but that is the so that cable runs up to the up here. It runs up there to the control panel. So there's a button up there that I can actually activate the air fuel, the sniffer, so I can turn the sniffer on and off if we're using that for the air fuel. So the air line is going to run through the dyno underneath here and then up to here where it's going to get fitted up to here. So there's that. We kind of blocked off already the drum, but basically there is a Hall effect sensor that's up off of the drum. You can't really see it now because we put the plating all on it, but all in all, that's kind of how it reads. It's a basic speed sensor. However fast the drum spins, it does the calculation, and that's how we get horsepower. Okay, so then we have a battery down here. Show you guys right there. We have a battery that's very close to the drum, but that battery is ran up to the front. There is an electronic motor that is on the front that will move the carriage in and out depending on the length of your bike. Underneath this, or behind this rather, is basically a breaker and fuse box paneling. On the other side, you can see where all the wiring, a lot of the wiring is ran into here. So this is basically one big circuit board for breakers and fuses. And then from that, we have our main brain box for the dyno. So we have the infrared sensor coming in. We have the drum, so the speed sensor coming in. We have the main power wire. We have the infrared down there. This is drum speed. So this is speed sensor. This one is for the wideband. This is for the sniffer in the back. This is for the drum speed infrared sensor. This is an overheat down there. Main power obviously is here. And then we have some in the front that's gonna run up here. So this is for the clicker. That's for the clicker. That's to start the sample in the sample. I'll have another one for RPM. So we'll have a tack pickup down there. And then we'll have another one that gets tagged into here for the all the atmospheric sensor. So it's not that just collects the real room data, the real world data. I can say it. I can do it. So all in all, in a gist, that's kind of how it works. We got and then we got the two fans that are gonna go on that. Yeah, those arms. Fans are gonna go on there. And but yeah, we got the tray, we got all this lined up, we got all the wiring kind of ran today. We're gonna mount the big screen TV maybe tomorrow. Probably not tomorrow. It'll probably be later this week. So we're gonna put this plate on tomorrow. This plate's gonna go on tomorrow. We're waiting on the new airline to come in, so we ordered a black airline. So we're gonna black this all out. So we got our little air nozzle down there in the corner. Right over there. So we're gonna run an airline off of that. We got our outlet right there. We're actually gonna run another hidden outlet that's gonna be down here where where is it? There it is. X. Yeah, we got an X. X marks the spot. So we're gonna run an outlet down here as well. So we'll have hidden outlets. And then we got a pretty cool surprise that's gonna go on this wall right here. I'm not gonna tell you guys. Okay, I'll tell you guys. Never mind, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna tell you guys. I'm excited. I'm really excited. This is the first time we're actually building a room, like, and actually finishing the room. I've built probably 2 rooms now, and never have they gotten actually finished. So
This one's gonna be cool.
this one's gonna be super cool. We're gonna have a badass AC unit in here, so it'll be nice. It's gonna be very nice. Yeah, it ain't gonna be 110 degrees dynoing. I'm so excited.